Barakathu Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKodash, double honors to the apostles, bishops, elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to brothers in the highways and byways, doing the works sincerely and faithfully, and continually fighting the good fight of faith, Lord willing. We have found that number to be delivered, but until then, may we continually fight, and may Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai have mercy. All right, so I was going to do something different, but I'm going to jump on this real quick. These Genesis cats talking about the lake of fire is in America. All right. See, what people need to understand is that these guys who have been a part of Sakari, they, even though they split, they still share and believe in the same things, right? So it's no mystery that now we're taking scriptures from John the Revelator and twisting them up. Before it was, we couldn't substantiate the Apostle Paul's writings. Now John the Revelator got it wrong. All right. So let me say this. These guys, they're content with what they're doing. All right. They're making a little bit of money. They're rapping. They're concerned about all the materialistic things that they have. And I'm not just making this up. These were statements made by the deacon himself. He got his wives and his cars and his big house, and he can't wait to get to the house to put all this aside. You can't put the truth aside, man. Once it's in you, all right, it's like living water. It's always going to be moving. It's always going to be on your mind. And this is one of the tall tale signs that this man ain't a man of the Lord. All right? So let's continue. Let's get a couple more scriptures. Ezekiel 12:27 says, Son of man, behold, they of the house of Israel say, the vision that he seeth is for many days to come, and he prophesies of the times that are far off. All right. Now I said that him and Elazar, they're still, even though they the butt thing, whatever, but they still believe in the same things. All right. Elazar said we're gonna go another 1,000 years. You know what that is? He's prophesying of the times that are far off. He's trying to put these times afar off, man. And why do they do things like this? Because these men have been wrapped up into this world, and they found I don't want to say a loophole, but they found a little niche, right, where they can make money, get followers, and turn themselves into these, YouTube icons where everybody can flock to them and give money and all this other shit. But basically, this is what it is. They don't want America to be destroyed. All right? The lake of fire is anything but America. Why? Because they're thriving over in America. They're making money. They're doing their rap sessions and their followings and, just being American with an Israelite twist. That's all that it is. That's all that is, man. Why wouldn't you prophesy about the downfall? Why don't you prophesy about the downfall? He said, yeah, oh, don't get me wrong. We know the missiles are going to hit America. Niggas, you ain't hasting. They ain't hastening today, man. A man of the Lord is going to tell you, I fucking hate this place. And that we do. And that just ain't no bullshit, man. That ain't no, yeah, we want to say that because it sounds good. We mean this shit, man. When I tell you I hate this fucking place, I mean this shit. And I know the sentiment is for all the brothers. You don't hear these cats talking about they hate America. They want America to go down. And this is how you know. They love America. They love the American way. They found the American dream. The big house, the fancy cars, You know, the wives that are all so-called in order. You living for the love of Babylon. Fuck Babylon, man. Fuck this place. Excuse my language. Let's go on to the next scripture. This is Luke 16:13. It says, No servant can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and Mammon. All right. So there you have it. These men are serving, their own bellies, so to say, because niggas, I dropped my CD is about to drop. Go cop the CD, and nobody give a goddamn about no goddamn bullshit rap music, man. Don't you know we hastening, we hoping and praying that the Lord bring this place down speedily? That's the mindset you gotta be in, man. Hoping and praying that the Lord destroys and gets this shit popped off, man. And you can tell these cats they're not in the sense of urgency. They don't have the sense of urgency spirit on them. They're just casually walking through life right now. Sauntering through. We can do this, we can do that, whatever. Every waking goddamn morning, man, I'm saying to myself, turn the news on, see if something blew up somewhere. You see if an earthquake then took down a city somewhere. Something. Because our spirit is hastened, man. We are patiently waiting upon Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, but our spirits are hastening. All right? So this whole thing, what these guys got going on, it's all about finances, and even in their Passover. However they wanted to do it, they did it, but, it was more of a money grab as far as I was concerned. But these are what these so-called prophets are doing these days. Podcasting, social mediaing, rapping, promoting, writing lyrics. All this shit that doesn't have a goddamn thing to do with America being destroyed. Nothing. And not too many people prophesy or even speak about America being destroyed. And when he said it in this little video, he was all nonchalant about it. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, the missiles are gonna hit America. But you should be like, the missiles are gonna hit tonight. That's the spirit you should be in. But as far as this whole lake of fire thing, it makes sense to me. It truly makes sense to me that these men, let me get this here. These men desire to stay here. Like I said, any place but Babylon. It's anything but Babylon. The lake of fire. And the crazy thing is, in their video, they showed a goddamn river or stream. So don't you think John the Revelator understood the difference between a lake and a stream and bodies of water? Shit, he was on the island of Patmos, surrounded by water. So you don't think he knew the difference? So when you men pull up a Google image of a red stream or a river or whatever that was, how do you constitute that to be a lake, man? But anything but America, they'll make it sound, magnificent, as long as they don't put the label of America on it. It says, woe to them that are at ease in Zion and trust in the mountain of Samaria. See, these guys are at ease, man. Just by listening to their lessons, they're at ease. They're at peace. And And the deacon said, yeah, when he shuts down, he leaves all this behind, leaves all the Israelite thing behind, and he goes home to his wives and his family. Now, again, there's nothing wrong with a man going home to his family. But when a man of the Lord goes home to his family, you know what's on his mind? The prophecies. You know what's on his mind? When Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is coming to destroy this place. All right? We don't leave camp night and say, yeah, whew, hang up the Bible, hang up the garment, you just forget about everything. Absolutely not. Because your mind is so enthralled in this thing of ours. That's the only thing we know. This is the only thing we know. Savior Yahushai, this is the only thing we know, man. Yahushai, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is what gets us through, is what, keeps us motivated, knowing that his words are faithful and true. Continuing on, it says, which are named the chief of the nations to whom the house of Israel came. It says, pass ye unto Cana and see, from thence go ye to Hamath the great, then go down to Gath of the Philistines. Be they better than these kingdoms, or their borders greater than your border? 3. But ye that put far away the evil day and cause the seat of violence to come near. All right. And again, this is what these men do. You putting far away the evil day. And by saying that America isn't the lake of fire, just that and alone, questions what your motives are and how you truly feel about this place. We say again, America's not the lake of fire. Well, why wouldn't it be? It's not the lake of fire because you're prospering here. All right? The next thing you know, it's not. The next thing you know, America's not Babylon. You want this place to continue forever, man. You want America to continue forever. You don't want it to be destroyed because you just got your rap record going. You just got on board. You dropped your first CD. You're in a parking garage somewhere rapping, spitting bars. You think the Lord? You think this is pleasing to the Lord? We here at Great Millstone, we sitting in a vexed spirit, man. Just by seeing what the house of Israel is doing. People used to get on us for saying, yeah, the Lord got to destroy 2/3 of his people. Oh, we see how you niggas are. Y'all cursing your own people out. You goddamn right. Because our people are the worst of the worst, man. The worst of the worst. Just look around. Look at Jake, man. Niggas is savages. Shit that they be doing out here in these streets. Savages. Let me continue. Verse 4. It says, that lie upon beds of ivory and stretch themselves upon their You see? This is this guy. He said, I'm going to go back to my big house. I'm blessed. I got the big house, the cars, the fancy cars, the women. You can't make it up, man. And sure as shit, you're putting far away the evil day. Okay? When you sit there and say America's not the lake of fire, then what is it? Then what is it? What's gonna happen? What do you think those nuclear missiles are gonna do to this place? Because when the Lord took John the Revelator up and he showed him the vision of what was to come, he looked down and saw America burning. Now, anybody with a brain in their head can understand the dynamics of what he must have been seeing. Right? The, the country itself was engulfed in flames. And from that bird's eye view, he said it looked like a lake. If you Google lakes, you're gonna see that it's a body of water surrounded, right? So now you're gonna have a lake of fire, which is going to be surrounded by water, if you will, but it's gonna be that fire in the center what's gonna be burning. It says, "For that lie upon beds of ivory and stretch themselves upon their couches and eat the lambs of the flock and the calves out of the midst of the stall, that chant to the sound of the viol." Wait a minute. That chant to the sound of the viol? Get your rap music, that B-Stars. Yo, I'm Israel 44. Blah, 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 blah. Come on now. No one really gives a shit about that, man. And your raps ain't shit anyway. The lake of fire is not Babylon the Great. What else? And I can see, and again, and I'm going to say this too, and I know I'm going on, I'm rambling on a little bit, but it is what it is. The Spirit is on me to ramble on a little bit. This man and his cohort there, they never ever came out and said, you know what, we believe the Apostle Paul's writings. You know, they never said that. So clearly, they're not in tune with the belief that the Apostle Paul was a man of the Lord. But these guys profess themselves to be men of the Lord. Yahweh Shai dealt with the Apostle Paul directly, man. And we can't substantiate their writings. This is why you got to stay away from guys like this. Stay away, far away from guys like this. Let me continue. Finish this out. That chant to the sound of the viol and invent to themselves instruments of music like David. That drink wine in bowls and anoint themselves with the chief ointments, but they are not grieved for the affliction of Joseph. All right. So the point being made is you're putting away the evil day. You're putting far away the evil day. All right. So if America is not the lake of fire, then that must mean America's going to get hit with the missiles, but it's not going to burn. According to these guys. Just don't make no sense, man. Don't make no damn sense. Let me get this right here. All right. So I typed in the word complacent, because this is what these guys are. These guys have gotten complacent. And when you get complacent, you know, you tend to just, I've been doing this for, 15 years now. You know, I know what I'm doing. And what happens is, with that mindset, with that complacent mindset, you now want to be able to, after you do your speaking or your lesson, you now want to go back and hang up the garment, turn the lights out and leave it all at the studio. Leave everything at the studio, so by the time you arrive at your home, you ain't thinking nothing about the word, the truth, the prophecies. You ain't thinking nothing about it because you're in that complacent mindset. Complacent. Then this is the regular Bible Merriam Dictionary. It says marked by self-satisfaction. Self-satisfaction. Right? What's self-satisfaction? Wanting to be a rapper. Wanting to be, somebody who's recognized in this world. We ain't looking to be recognized by the masses. We just trying to please Yahweh Shai. That's all we trying to please. Continuing on, it says, especially when accompanied by unawareness of actual dangers or deficiencies. You see? So these men are unaware of actual danger that's on the horizon. Because if they were aware, they prophesy about it, they warn people about it. Because when you are in the position to warn somebody, you have accepted the dangers that are on the horizon. You've accepted it. You're like, this is real. This is worthy to be spoken of. So therefore you go and warn people. But if you're not warning anybody, that means what? You haven't been fully persuaded in your mind that these dangers that are coming aren't really going to be effective. You see? Now you can talk a good game. Oh yeah, we said the nuclear missiles are coming. But do you really want the missiles to come? Let's be honest. You cats are more worried about your worldly persona than you are pushing the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Alright, so I'm gonna finish this off right quick. Matthew's 24. Matthew's 24 and 22 says, and except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. All right. How ready are you for the Lord to shorten the days? How ready? All right. And I'll say this, from by the looks of things, y'all don't want these days to be shortened, because you want to fulfill and live out your hopes and desires and your dreams of being a man of Babylon the Great. You know? Being a man of this world, because this world receives you. Nobody receives the men of Great Millstone. Everybody hates the men of Great Millstone, from the head apostles on down. And it's a true statement, because they don't believe our report through the Spirit of the Lord. They don't believe our report. They don't want to hear our report. Why? Because it conflicts with their lifestyle being in Babylon. That's why. Anytime someone comes up against the men of Great Millstone, all right, they always try to pull the most, feeblest attempt to try to degrade us, or whatever they do. But at the end of the day, as the old saying goes here in Babylon, the truth hurts. So when a video does come out and brothers are getting on you or correcting you, for the flock's sake, people get cut. We get cut right to the heart. The Lord Yahweh Shai is going to shorten these days. That means America is going to be ended. The end of America is soon. And you people probably praying to the Lord not to destroy this place. It wouldn't surprise me. Dear Lord, please don't destroy Babylon just yet. Let me get my album and let me see if I can make the top. And why would you? I know I'm stuck on this, but why the hell would you want to go into the rap industry in this time period in your life? After all the shit that you see going on in this wicked ass music industry, you see this, and this is how a lot of these rappers start off. They start off with a single mind. Yeah, I'm a rapper. I ain't gonna fall for no bullshit. Yeah, But once they start sweetening them deals, and them deals require you to drop them drawers, cats be dropping them. Damn near everybody in that industry, man. So you want to follow those footsteps You want to follow the footsteps of the likes of Puffy and Jay-Z, and Cameron and Meek Mills and all these cats? You want to follow in their stead? You should despise that shit, man. You should despise these guys. And the Lord's not impressed when you mention the name Yahweh in your songs. The Lord ain't impressed with this shit, man. Don't you know the angels up there in the heavens, administering sweet sounding, saving music to the Lord continually? And here you are down here on earth in the most feeblest position, talking about you a rapper. Don't know, man. But all that being said, these guys are going to try to tell you that America is not the lake of fire. They want America to continue on in its wickedness. They don't want America to be destroyed. And they damn sure don't want Yahweh Shai to come back. You can always tell a man who's serious about his craft. All right? He's going to have a different look about him. He's going to have a different countenance about him. All right? And not only that, he's going to be sincere in what he tells you and what he does. All right, so I'm going to end it on that. I was a little long-winded, but, these cats is waxing worse and worse, as the scriptures say. Next thing you know, America's not going to be Babylon the Great. They're going to say, long live America. God save America. That's what they're going to say. All right, so with that, I'm going to say shalom.